Welcome back to episode, what must be 25, I think. This is hopefully the episode that this car goes out the door for paint. Well, at least is ready to go out the door for paint. The couple of bits to fix on the door. Whenever you go digging, you always find more than you think, but it's not horrendous. There's that wee bit. Let's come through to the other side just as well a wee bit, and somebody's already been welding at it there, so we'll just go over that again, smooth it back. So no filler needed. I don't know what somebody's been at here with the wing mirror. They must have fitted some other wing mirror before with 4 holes in it, but I have since fixed it and enlarged that hole so that the remote mirror fits through. It was always having to be dismantled to take the wee wires off the remote attachment to get the mirror off, so I'll do that right while I'm at it this time. Yeah, overall it's not actually as bad as I thought it was going to be. This corner here I thought was going to be bad, but there's actually nothing wrong with it at all, so thankfully. The reason I haven't stripped the door completely yet is because I need to hang it again to make sure everything's going to shut right and all that carry on, so leaving the handle and stuff on it to make sure I can open and close it whenever it's hung. So first part of this probably will be just repairing this door, and then I'm going to hang them, I think, tomorrow and get those all lined up, and then that means that I will be able to work away on the front kit, get it completely lined up and get her out of here at last. So onwards. Forgot to mention this bit. So I need to cut it out, make a patch, set it in and weld it up, and I think in theory that's the last patch to do on this door. It really wasn't as bad as I thought, so that's one bonus I suppose from the whole project. It might not look the prettiest, but we now have a solid door, bit of buffing, and should hopefully clean up alright. It's better than what was there. I think that's the door done, so next time you see it, hopefully should be hanging it on that. I have a few more wee bits and pieces to do before I fit the wings. I have still a couple of wee bits of buffing and stuff to do, so I'll work away at those in the meantime until help arrives to fit the wings. And yeah, we're nearly there. So, time to put the doors on. As per usual, I got carried away and started something before I realised, crap, I need to video this. So, I've only got one bolt in holding it on. Shut her, lift her up. I need to get this spaced out a wee hair. It's not far enough out, so I've made a couple of wee shims, so I'll put them on next. See how it takes it out. You can see another repair that I had to do to the door down in there. So it's now complete, thankfully. It just needs a coat of paint. And yeah, I shall get on with fitting this. Okay, update. Doors now on and lined up the best I can get them. Needs a couple of bits done by the body man. This gap is a wee bit bigger here than it is here, so we'll get him to fill it up in for me. The rear screen, or rear tailgate, is now on too. Nice sympathetic sticker there. Bought for a friend by a friend of mine. The tailgate is on. Turbo tail got a bit of damage to it whenever it was the steeplechase, so it needs fixed as well. Hence why it's off the car at the moment. But overall, everything's really on and lined up the way I wanted it to be. One major job that we'll have left to do is to get this windscreen trial fitted. So this video is either going to go one of two ways. You're going to see me jump for joy, or you're going to see me sitting in the corner crying. Either because I broke the screen, or because I have to take the scuttle end off and do it again. So we'll give it a bit of a go, see what the crack is. Another job I remembered to do is I have to fix these stupid brackets for the end caps. So that's not a big job, hopefully. I'll take into that after I get the windscreen sorted, and then we'll start tidying the car out, really. Getting it all stripped, all the wiring out of her, heater box out of her, and just getting it ready to go. We're getting places. Woohoo! Screen fits. I never doubted myself, honest. I know any others did right enough. But this is only a second-hand screen that I bought last year as a spare, and the rubber isn't great on it. It's got paint and stuff on it. I will be using a practically new screen and new rubber whenever I go to put the other one in. So I just didn't fancy breaking said new screen. So trial fitted it with this one. Very happy. It sits in quite nicely around this corner as well, which is quite nice. So yeah, another job ticked off the list. As I said, I probably need to dung out the inside, take the wiring all out, the heater box and stuff, and just generally tidy her down. Okay, one of the next jobs that I need to do in this thing is to get an electric fan to fit. At present, the cross member stopping it from going on down, so it doesn't fit really where I need it to. So to remedy this, I have marked out where I need to cut, and I'm going to slice out and make a recess for it, and then shape the cross member again to let it fit down in. I could go for a smaller fan. I do have a smaller fan, but it only covers a slight bit of the radiator, and I would rather have the safety and security of knowing that the fan's actually being efficient and cooling the whole radiator. So yeah, time to get chopping. Okay, so what I've done so far, I have cut the old piece out, drilled the spot welds off. I have then cut the edge down there, and pulled what used to sit out here in tight and put it up close to the original lip, drilled some holes, and now I'm going to plug weld through those to get this to sit nicely in there. And if it's still not enough room, I have a big hammer. That'll soon work.
If I leave it, baby, will you come? Let me
I call that a success, really. So, fan now physically fits. Now I just need to somehow get a bracket made to actually hold the fan. On the old car, the fan was on the other side of the radiator, and it had nice alloy tabs to come out and mount these two. They're still on the far side of the radiator. I might be able to reuse them, but I'm just unsure how much I want to take into a nice alloy radiator with my minimal aluminium TIG welding skills. So might have to make some other sort of a bracket up. That's minor anyway. I can do that at a later date. I'm happy now as long as it fits, and it does. So another job ticked off the list. Another wee job that I've just done. Made a power steering bracket to fit or bottle bracket, sorry, to fit it underneath the inner wing, and cut down an elbow and drilled a wee hole for it to go through the inner wing, because the pump sits just at the far side. So there's just enough room there, or length on it, to poke through, no more, and then have a joiner and another bit to bring it to the pump. So another job off the list. Okay, so it might look like I've taken a step backwards, but I've taken many steps forwards today. I have trimmed this wing rail because it used to sit out a bit here somewhere. I have filed the scuttle out. It's not fitted completely yet. It will sit out there. I have ground the engine bay down. Sorted that cutout there for the fan to sit. Fitted the power steering bottle and hose. What else have I done? Oh, I seam sealed all the holes, not holes anymore, but where there used to be holes. The only real things that I need to do now is to strip the rest of the car out with the wiring and the heater box and stuff, and I want to make these removable. Whenever I fitted them, I wasn't really thinking straight. What's the point in having a removable slam panel to get engines in and out whenever you have these two things sticking up out of the road? So I'm going to convert them to bolt on, basically. So we'll do that. What else do I have to do? Oh, to give the body man a bit of a head start, I have to sand the roll cage down gently, just to rough it up for him to paint. There's a couple of wee things there that I need to grind off it as well. And yeah, we're fairly well there. Doors and stuff all shut nicely, which is surprising considering this side of the car was flattened. But yep, this side I think's the same. Great job. So I now need to do those final few bits and pieces, and this time next week, well, by the time you're watching it, it might be away to paint, right enough, but this time next week it should be at the paint shop, which is a very big step for me. Oh, another job. Tailgate, there was a wee bit of rust on it. It always had a wee bit of a bubble in it in the paint from the last job. Not the painter's fault, just double seam here, so they're always going to come through eventually. So I ground it out and welded over it. So that's another wee job done. So next stage, don't really know what I'm going to do next. I have to put them bumper clips and stuff on yet too, so I'll pick something. Okay, another day. I have been footering away at getting the front wings all on permanently and lined up. So that's them that I'm fairly happy with the gaps up both sides. I have riveted the front panel on. I'm leaving the outside bolts for some countersunk Allen head bolts so that the wings can be removable. But I sort of figure if the front panel's coming off, there's something drastically wrong, so it's going to have to be drilled off anyway. Next job to get this car rolling again is to take these off and fit the front struts again. So it's mobile to go to the paint shop. Once it's mobile and down in ground level, I can double check all the gaps again, because I know that the car does flex when it's on a lift, so I want to do that before it goes. And then I'm at the right level and not stupid lift arms in the road and climb in and start stripping the rest of it out. So onwards. Okay, next on the list is to make a bit of a hole through the nicely freshly welded up bulkhead to put the wiring loom through. I'm going to use one of the split piece aluminium rubber bulkhead grommets for this. So I think the nicest flattest bit that I can see really is down about here somewhere, which on the far side there's nothing. So I'm going to create a tiny pilot hole to get this thing lined up where I want it, because the drill bit that comes with it is a bit blunt. So get this started right in the middle of this. And see how this is going to go. You have? I'm talking here. Okay, so don't buy a cheap wholesale kit off eBay, folks. It doesn't work. I have drilled it out to the biggest drill bit I have, which is 32mm. So now I'm going to get Mr. Dremel at it. Let's see if I can get it bored out a wee bit more. Okay, so it's not pretty, not as pretty as I wanted it to be, but it'll be hidden by a bigger grommet that goes right out around the whole thing. So for now, it'll do. I'll potentially tidy it up a bit more with a hand file before it's painted. But that's another job off the list. Speaking of another job off the list, I've bored the holes there and there that are going to be used for passing the cables through. I'll be using this stuff to pass the cable through from there the whole way. It's not going to sit the way I want it now, but it will go into the bulkhead. It means that it avoids running the cables up the inner wings. So Gives me a bit of a cleaner look in the engine bay. My aim is not to have any cables really of any sort running up and down the chassis legs or the inner wings. Apart from brake lines, of course, they're sort of a necessity. So, yep. And for my next trick, we're going to actually get this car rolling for the first time in I don't know how many months. Put the wheels on, set her down, just to check that the wing gaps and stuff all line up. Then whenever it's down at the right height, I can start taking stuff out of the inside of it whenever it's actually, I can climb in and out of it without stupid lift legs in the road, and I can just check everything over really. I have a few more jobs to do. Let's check my list. I have to sand the roll cage for the body man. I have to strip out everything that's inside her. I want to take the trim off the doors, like I'll leave the handles on until it gets there, but I'll take the likes of the weather strips and all that carry on out of her. I want to take the sunroof seal out, the windscreen back out, and bumper clips, and I think that's finally her good to go. Never been so glad to have something come to an end. Well, this stage of the project come to an end. So next bit's going to be hopefully her getting down onto the ground and pushed out of the road, that I can do a bit of a clean up again before I start working on the rest of it. Just a wee bit of an informative section on how to take a windscreen out of a Ford Capri. I have the start bit done, but basically to take it out, it's the opposite of remove or of putting it in. This seal lip needs pushed to the far side of the lip, the whole way around the screen. Use a very blunt screwdriver and go very gentle. The first bit's the hardest. You need a couple of screwdrivers at the start to get it prized out. Try not to take too big of a bite each time as well. You don't usually need to do the bottom edge because it just lifts up out of it whenever you have the other three sides done. Now, this is arguably the first time I've ever done one of these one-handed whilst holding the camera as well. Oh, wished.
Still intact.
Okay, I'm going to set this down somewhere. Apologies if you can't see the screen. I'll do this next wee bit here along the bottom, that's it then. Right, so I've reset the camera. Theory, just pop up out. Hang on, Richard, take it out. Lift up.
Yep, that's right.
One windscreen out, and what, 3 minutes and 50 seconds? You get a lot of people saying, just lie on the seat and put your feet against it and kick. To me, that just sounds like a recipe for absolute disaster. You're gonna break it. Like, why not spend the extra 3 minutes, 50 seconds and take it out right? I've never had one breakdown like that. So, hope it was informative. So, windscreen's out, she's on her feet. Gaps did not move a millimetre, thankfully, whenever I took her off the lift. It's a bit of a walk round over. Some of the gaps need fettling by the bodyman. I think this one here is a wee bit, as I've written, too big. So it's just really from here up, and I think it's the way the wing was cut. You can see a cut mark on the wing there. So I might get him to try and fill that gap up a wee bit. Back gaps are fairly good actually, I'm pretty happy with those. Tailgate, somebody was commenting on one of the videos. The tailgate is going to sit a bit lower, although I can pack it out. There's a rubber adjuster or bump stop in there, which in theory I could pack up to make the boot lid sit up a wee bit. I need to look at what way Xpacks are done, other ones, to see if it is possible. Needs a bit more adjustment. It's literally just bolted on and no more to get it to the body shop. It's the handiest way instead of trying to throw it inside the car. I need to take the wiper motor and stuff off it yet, so it's not painted on, and I'll probably just take the window seal out because this is a bonded in screen. So just take the window seal out, tape up the glass itself. Job's a good one. All the rest of the glass is out of her, so that's not a problem. I want to take these trims here off and the weather strips. You have to be very careful with them because if you prise at them too hard with a screwdriver, they just kink. So that needs done carefully. Overall, I think she's very nearly ready. I was going to take the sunroof seal out, but it appears I've already done that at the previous episode. That's another job I can take off my list. Yeah, happy flipping days. Right, now the windscreen's out, it's time to start clearing this inside out. I've sort of been putting it off for a while, but this shouldn't be too bad. It's just really the wiring loom needs to come out from in behind the dash, heater box. I'm going to lift this carpet out of her as well, like the underlay carpety stuff. I'm going to leave the fat mat in her because I'm too tight really to change it out whenever it's perfectly good. I'll just paint the other bits around it with a brush or something. The battery obviously needs to come out of her and all the crap that's lying in the back of her, but it shouldn't take too long, hopefully. So there we are. apart from the last couple of jobs, which is only take about half an hour or so, that's her ready for paint. We're ready to go up the road. Never thought this day would actually arrive. This is now, what, Wednesday I think. Come Saturday morning she'll be loaded onto the trailer and sent to the body shop. I would say I won't be seeing her for a month or so, but I'll probably be down filming the whole show and helping mask up or whatever is needed. So yeah, fairly happy. It'd be good to see her all in one colour even. I'm excited even to see her in primer. Never mind in final colour. So yeah, next stage should hopefully be her loaded onto the back of a trailer for body shop. So hopefully that'll be next.